Okay, so I'm starting to set up for the presentation. I'm connecting the FM Mini. So this unit is controlling the different screens. So I'm waiting for it to start. There's usually some issues with that connection. Starting. This is not good. So when I'm connecting the Atom Extreme, all the screens, all the 8 screens go through it. So there's a split of the signal of the screen from the computers to the screen and to it. So when I'm connecting it, there's a kind of reset at the computer side that it doesn't always like. So sometimes it feels invalidated. It's working fine. That looks better. A little bit unhappy here. It's not the end of the world. Very good. So this screen now is starting to show everything, which is very nice. Doing an update, of course. Amplifier for the microphone. So I'm going to open the business class presentation. So I can just press the button and it opens here. And I'm going to the presentation. In the meanwhile, on the other computer is up. Okay, so we got this thing going on. This will be the background of the presentation. Okay. This thing I'm using as when I'm using green screen. I can use different setup there. Okay, so I can change the background for the green screen like that, you see. So I'm just pressing here and it's changing the background. But I'm not using green screen today, so that's okay. So I finished with that computer. I'm going back to the main computer and I'm starting to set up. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting this thing into a presentation mode. So I'm going to move this thing to here, to this screen. You can see here this thing where the chat will be. So I'm moving it here out. Okay, so NDI is a tool that allows me to communicate with this software, with OBS, and grab it, and so I can present it on Zoom. So, see, whatever I do here will show here in real time. So, actually what I'm doing, I'm controlling from here OBS, and OBS showing me that, and that I transmit to Zoom as a screen share. So now the next thing I need is Zoom. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the chat. You see, the chat is here. This is where the actual box is, but I'm showing it here. So when I will look at that, I will be able to see the chat. So it's all working. So the last thing we need to do is to move actually to the presentation mode. So I'm looking here, the camera camera is behind. So when I look at the presentation here, but because the camera is behind, I look into the person. So if I do that, I look directly into the presentation, and the person thinks that I'm talking to him, not I am talking to him directly, but I look at the presentation so I can read it. So I don't need to look all around, yes? And the only time I need to look down is when I want to look at the chat. And just like that, we are ready for the presentation. And the last thing I need to do is to share the screen. Okay? Done.